Okay, this is a quick introduction to part 2 of the assignment. So you should have watched the video and walked through the first part where we made changes to the currency trader, the simpler version, which refactor for clarity. Now your job is to make those same changes, but to the more complicated version that was refactored for abstraction. So again, make sure you log into GitHub and then go to this assignment link here. That will bring you to a window like this, and you can accept the assignment. Once you accept the assignment, it should bring you to another window where it has your assignment link here. You want to copy that. And again, sometimes it takes a sec for these assignments to be created, so make sure you click there and you should see all the files there. And that's where all your changes are going to go. So it's not bad to keep this window open. But again, we need this link also. Well, I guess it's also this link up here. That's what we need to do to set up the project. So now we're going to start Visual Studio. So I got Visual Studio. I've closed all the solutions, so there's no solution open. I'm going to go to Team Explorer here. If it's not available, go here and say Manage Connections. It'll bring it up. And then I'm going to go back because I've been actually doing some stuff here. And again, if you've been working here, you can click either here, the Manage Connections, to go back to this page, or else again, Team Manage Connections. But you want to get back to this page where you have your Git repositories and you can clone a new one. So you want to clone a new one. You're going to paste in that URL from the assignment you created here. And then again, select some location where it's going to be stored. And just watch again that by default it doesn't store this in docs. It's your docs. It stores it in CSS or whatever you use there. The /source.repo. So you might want to change this so it saves it somewhere to My Documents or somewhere where you can get it easily. But I'm just going to leave it here. Okay, then we're going to remember this is a 3-step process. We clone. Oops, I already have that unit existing. Sorry. Assignment 9 converted to. Okay, gonna clone. Now there's no errors. And again, look for your once cloning is done, your assignment should show up in your list here. So make sure you find it. Get in the name you gave it. Click on that. So this is step 2, is to click on it, and now you have to open it. So double click on the actual solution to open it up. It'll load in the solution, and now if you go to Solution Explorer, it should be there. So here's all the files, and again, we should be doing the more complicated one here, where we've got the program file, trade processor, and each of the methods are in their own class. So trade mapper, trade parser, trade validator, and there's a separate ADO.NET stuff down here, and all the contracts are here. And then there's just I've added one test here. That's the only thing really it's different. I guess the two things that's different than what actually comes with the textbook is I've also included a database in the debug folder, so this will actually run. It should run for you. And then I've added this one test for one of the instances. So it should actually connect to the local database if I have everything set up well. And if it doesn't, that's okay, but it should run. So I added that. And now remember, when you make changes, you have to commit them. I'm just going to go through that really quickly because students often forget that. Let's just make this first. So again, you're going to go through these changes. Let's just do the first one where we're going to check if the trade amount is less than 1,000. We're going to return an error. So we've got to figure out where that's going to be here. And you'll be mainly modifying code in this simple single responsibility principle stuff. But again, there are different ones. And this is the parser that actually checks. Oops, not the parser. That calls the validator. The parser calls the validator, and the validator checks for different trade values here. And we check, we read in the trade amount or initialize the trade amount here where we try to parse it from the trade data. And again, just as before, we can add another check here. Okay, so after we do the trade amount, I just add a little if then, if trade amount's less than 1,000, and then give some warning out here, and then return false. So again, I should save this, and then I should commit. I'll also show you that for this one, there are actually tests. You can run tests that'll run. And when you first run this without this, there should be three tests that fail. The test amount 99, the test amount negative 10,000, and the test amount 100,000 K, 101,000 K, all fail until you get your little logs here. Now I've already did one, put this in here, so I've got two of the more tests passing. But once we get that done, we're going to commit this. So again, go back to Team Explorer, go to your changes and enter something with the commit. And again, we want to reference this request number. Check lower bound or something like that. And again, three-step process here. I'm going to make sure I commit. Once it's committed, I click sync. And once it's synced, I push. So commit, sync, push. And those, yeah, we should watch. It should show some progress where it's updating, pushing stuff out to the internet. So now when it's done pushing, you can actually go out again and look if you kept that window open where your things, we were in single responsibility principle. And let's see, we did the trade validator, and I should see my newest test pushed out to the internet there. Okay, so yeah, you have got to do that. You've got to do that for these two boundary tests. Also, the logger we have to change. We have to change that. Now, it should be easy. Last time it was a little harder because we wanted to log the type and the message. And in the new set, logging the type and the message separate should be a little easier because of the way the logger is set up in the second part. So you can find that and edit that. And the last part, and this is the most challenging one, is you want to create a new read URL trade data object class and call that from the main method, the main program, and set that up. So those are the things you want to do. Just make those changes, submit the requests, and then just when you're done with this, just here, just submit your assignment and just tell me that you've done all the commits for GitHub.